The Golden Egg Syndrome, a story from the Puranas. In the heavens, King Nahusha sat on Indra's throne, a seat he had never fought for. It was given to him, a reward without effort. At first he ruled wisely, but as time passed, power felt like his birthright. He demanded more respect, more obedience, more submission. One day he called his ministers. The sages must carry me in a palanquin. Let them learn their place. A hush fell over the court. The gods exchanged uneasy glances. Even the heavens seemed to hold their breath. Nahusha laughed. I am king. The world exists to serve me. When sage Agastya arrived, he did not go. He simply looked at Nahusha and whispered, a man who refuses to walk will one day crawl. Nahusha fell from Indra's throne to the forest below. The arrogant king had become a snake. Centuries later, a throne without effort in today's world. Centuries later, in a modern city, Rohan sat in his father's plush office. He stretched out his hand. Dad, I need 20 lakhs for my MBA fees. His father, a self-made man, didn't hesitate. The loan was signed. The path was paved. Rohan never worked a single day. He breezed through college, laughing at those who took up part-time jobs. Why work when money is given? Then came the job hunt. At an interview, the CEO leaned forward and asked, what value can you bring? Rohan smirked. I have an MBA, that should be enough. The CEO closed the file. Come back when you have earned something more than a certificate. Rohan leaned back, smirking. This was just a formality. That night, Rohan sat alone. His world had just cracked. For the first time, he realized the world does not bend for me. He had fallen, just like Nahusha. Nahusha remained a snake for years, cursed to crawl, powerless. His redemption came when he humbled himself, walked and worked for forgiveness. Rohan's moment came when his 16-year-old sister spoke casually over dinner. I got a part-time job, 3 hours a day. Rohan scoffed, pocket money? You don't need to work. She smiled, I am not working for money. I am working for myself. Years passed. When she graduated, she didn't need their father's money. She had her own. One day, Rohan watched her buy her first car with her own salary. Not a luxury, not a gift, her own effort. And in that moment, Rohan understood, the world does not bow to those who wait. It moves for those who walk. 2 years later, Rohan sat at a job interview again. His 50th attempt. Across the table, the interviewer glanced at his resume. You have an MBA but no work experience. Why should we hire you? Rohan hesitated. I can learn. The interviewer smiled. We don't pay people to learn. We pay them to contribute. The door closed. Another rejection. That night, his father entered his room. He placed a piece of paper on Rohan's desk, a job offer for his younger sister. She had just secured a higher salary than what Rohan had even hoped for. Rohan's hand trembled. She was younger. She had no fancy MBA, but she had worked. His father patted his shoulder. She didn't wait for a throne, son. She built her own. And in that moment, Rohan understood. The world does not reward degrees. The world rewards those who prove their worth. Some people think they deserve the throne, but the ones who rise are the ones who start walking before they fall. The next morning, Rohan stepped out of the house with his resume. A small job, a modest salary. but for the first time he was walking. At the bus stop, he noticed something on the pavement. A snake. Not coiled, not striking, just watching. For a brief moment, their eyes met. A strange thought crossed his mind. Does it recognize me? A breeze rustled the trees. The snake slithered away, disappearing into the tall grass. Rohan exhaled, then he stepped forward. The one who crawled had vanished. The one who walked had begun his journey.